each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure.
Hey everyone, this is Rock from StationSky.com, and we need to talk about Michael B. Jordan because ironically, I just got out of boxing practice, so obviously I'm thinking about, because his movie's about to come out, it's Creed 3. He actually directed this, so I'm really, proud of how far he's come. But what's making the round on the internet is his interaction with a reporter in which he's like, hey, yeah, I remember you used to call me corny. Now, so I know a lot of people are like, Rock, let's focus on the good thing. Focus on the movie. Nah, son. We need to jump on that because I know ladies gonna be like, nah, see, this is just another opportunity to bash ladies. Nah, it's not about that, because I'm gonna say something about what men do. It's basically the equivalent of a man basically used to call a woman fat or picking on an ugly girl, but then she blows up and she's hot now. Like, we don't have the audacity to go up to that same person we used to make fun of and be like, hey, remember me? And it's, it's like, all right, so let me back it up. What happened was Michael B. Jordan, his movie just came out. And there's a press conference where an interviewer is going up to him. Here's the video.
Each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
The corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say. I said we used to make fun of the name, but yeah, he is obviously killing things out here.
So when I first saw that, I'm just like, it wasn't something I like, I wanted to hop onto, but it's like people basically, they're talking about it. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents because obviously you hear the way I talk, you see the way I look. I spoke proper English my whole life, ever since I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I literally sounded like a white person. When I used to go to family functions and I had certain members of the family like, yeah, you sound like a white boy. So let's break down what we mean by corny, all right? Because a lot of people, they like to downplay and dismiss it, and they're like, oh, it's just a word. Corny means nothing. It's just whatever. Nah, son. Corny I'm talking about the black community. I'm talking about from a black boy's perspective, right? So if you're a black girl and you're like, oh, it's no big deal, let me tell you what it means to us black boys. When you call us corny, it's almost like a form of rejection without us even asking you out. It's basically saying you're one of the undesirable ones. If Jack from Sigma Frames watching this, he would say that's the indication from the women saying that you're one of the have-nots. And we know, like, there's a thing called pre-selection where a lot of women, they go for guys that other women have approved of. Meaning, if the hottest girl, the it girl, says that James is hot, even if the other girls don't really think James is hot, they weren't checking for him. They were checking for that corny guy. Because the girl said that James is hot, they're gonna be like, oh, is he? And now he's got their attention.
And shout out to Michael B. Jordan, because he's gonna be taking it off of me tonight.
Because people like Nicki Minaj have no fear in openly stating their affection and how much they think Michael B. Jordan's hot, it's very safe to go ahead and say that as a woman, it's, oh, well, the it girls, it's a cool thing to say it, so we can all say it now.
And same token, if the it girl or the most popular girl or a lot of girls look at me and say, hey, Rock's corny, he's lame, even if the girls thought I was hot, even if the girl said, man, he's really cute over there, because the other girls call me corny, they start to like, I ain't gonna mess with him. Because the herd mentality is so strong. That's important, especially in middle school and high school. And Michael B. Jordan, that whole situation, it happened when they were in school. So it matters, right? I'm gonna go even deeper than that. Because basically what we've all know is that a lot of the complaints that we hear from black women is that black men, like, they can't stand it when a black man becomes successful in life. When I say successful, I mean the ones who are making, they have the headlines. Like, whether you're an actor or a sports entertainer or a politician, they don't like it when you date outside your race. Those guys who date outside their race, a lot of the argument is, well, you guys weren't checking for us, you black ladies weren't checking for us when we were in middle school or we were coming up. And now you guys want to come to us, like a lot of you guys who called us, a lot of you ladies who called us corny, like you rejected us.
A good example of that is Jordan Peele and Donald Glover, right? You look at these two, you could tell just from looking that when they were in middle school, they must have had hell that they had to go through. They were probably called corny and they were rejected by both girls and boys, for not being hood, not being the stereotype of what black boys should be, especially
coming up in the early 2000s, late 90s. No, Rock, Jordan Peele is half white. Yeah, but he looks black. You know what I'm talking about? Stop playing. And I know we shouldn't cast a wide net on the bad few, meaning just because like 3 girls call us corny, we shouldn't say that all black girls are, you know, oh, we're just gonna stay away from you. However, it does when you're young, it does affect your psyche. I remember when I was in middle school, and you know, obviously I'm attracted to all races, you know, so when I do find a black girl that I am attracted to, I'm like, oh my God, finally I got one. So I go for her, and I remember this black girl, and she looked at me like with this look, like she just scraped, you know, me off the back of her shoe, like just such contempt. She called me corny. I'll never forget that. And it's like, for a lot of us guys, we use that as motivation, you know, like we're not gonna hit you, we're not gonna like bite back and like, oh, screw you, whatever, but we remember that and we use that as a source of motivation. I remember when I was a freshman in college, I came back to visit. There was a black girl named Latoya I used to have a crush on, and I saw her at the gas station. She was working at the gas station, and I was fat. I was 378 pounds back then. And then when the first words out of her mouth was, Rock, you're supposed to grow taller this way, not this way, wide, you know? And I'm like, all right, well, it's good to see you. And that's the last time I saw her, you know. And if she saw me again, I mean, I'm at 220. I've done well in life, you know. A lot of the success that we have, revenge is a form of success, you know. And again, it's a motivation. And then here you could say, well, then he should be thanking her, right? Because, you know, if it wasn't for him, you know, black girls calling people corny, you know, it wouldn't put the motivation in black young men to basically build themselves and grow up. Yeah. But here's the thing, there's other ways you could have done that. There's other ways you could have inspired and encouraged and uplifted him. It's sort of like Michael Jackson, you know, like the parents who, there's a joke that, you know, Joe Jackson whipped the Jackson 5 into success. Yeah, but there's other ways you could have gone about that. You didn't have to beat them, berate them, and basically become tyrannical just to get them there. Doesn't matter. It's sort of like if a bully, you know, messed with us when we were coming up in middle school and high school. You know, he used to shoulder checked us, and because of that, we develop a thicker skin. We're much tougher. We're stronger as men, and it's because of the bully and the challenges and the oppression that he put us through. We wouldn't then, like in 15 years, be like, hey, remember? Yeah, okay, give me that. Because if it wasn't for you bullying me, I wouldn't be the tough man I am now. No, like, nah, son. There's another way. There's other ways you could have done that. Then there are those in the manosphere, right? The red pill communities who say stuff like, well, this is what, you know, this is just human behavior. Like, no man should be mad at other women for calling people corny because it's in a woman's prerogative and it's women's nature to go for the man with the highest amount of resources, whatever. When a woman rejects, you know, pre-selection rejects a man, calls him corny, calls him lame, basically gives him the indication that he's undesirable. You're basically showing your cards. You're showing your true colors before a man's even reached his full potential. Meaning, like Michael B. Jordan in that situation with the reporter, she used to call him lame and corny. Now Michael B. Jordan's very successful. He's good looking, he's an actor, he's a director. And in the red pill communities, one of the biggest things we always say to each other is, if you're gonna get married, make sure you pick the right woman. When a woman calls you corny because you got nothing, because you don't have any swag, and because you're lame, men pick up on that and be like, okay, when I do glow up, I use you as motivation, but there's no way in hell I'm going to marry you. There's no way in hell I'm going to be with you because I know what you're all about. Even if you say, oh, that's who she used to be, she's changed now, doesn't matter. That bridge is burned. All right. And I burn bridges for a living. It's a hobby of mine. It's the same as if, like, ladies, let me switch it up around on you. It's the same as if you were a woman and when you were in middle school, you used to be fat, you used to have acne, and, you know, your parents used to dress you weird, you know, so other guys were looking at you like, nah, I ain't messing with her. Yeah, I ain't checking for her, right? And they used to make fun of you, right? And then 10 years later, you know, you lose weight, you dress right, you're just looking fine. You're looking like a model, right? How would you feel if the guy that used to belittle you and call you fat and, look at her, look at her, you know? How would you feel if that same guy came up to you, hey, remember me? You know, it's like, you know, you probably be respectful and cool if you're a good person, but hey, ain't no way, son. You know, I use you as motivation to succeed and get better, but that girl is probably not going to go out with you unless she's always loved you, and, you know, because there are some who are like that. A lot of ladies who, you know, for some reason they have it in their mind that this is normal to call someone corny, see them blow up, and then, hey, remember me? Men, we're just different. We're just different. I'm not saying that all men are going to agree with me and follow my worldview when it comes to the whole situation with corny, but a lot of us, especially a lot of us black kids, because I'll tell you one more thing and I'll go. The whole situation when it comes to us being called corny is sort of like the Will Smith slap, right? Because all black people, all black men are not the same. When we were called corny, it was usually because we didn't fit in the category of the hood and street dudes, the rappers and hip hop and the thugs, and we weren't part of that crowd, right? Like a lot of us corny dudes, we were into anime. We were I used to listen to the Backstreet Boys. I still think they're one of the best groups, you know, and, you know, I used to talk white, you know, so a lot of us, we were called corny for not fitting into out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming, you know, we didn't fit into that, you know, so it's like, and I'd argue, and a lot of people have argued, Michael B. Jordan, he went out with Lori Harvey, who's a black woman, but Michael B. Jordan is still that corny dude at heart. Like a lot of us dudes who were called corny because of the way we used to be, even though I grew up, I do boxing, I got a high credit score, I own my own home. At heart, I'm still a very playful, childish, you know, like I like to have fun. What I joke about is still corny, you know, like, so for a lot of those ladies out there who, you know, who are still into your love and hip hop phase, you want that lifestyle, the hip hop wives lifestyle, you know, for you ladies to come after us who used to be corny, we're still corny, you know, like we don't go to jazz bars, we don't hit the bars up on the weekend, you know, we don't get sleeve tattoos and all that, and we're not into tattoos, you know, so that's just something to keep in mind, all right? I know this is going to sound very disrespectful. This is just one man's perspective. Everything I'm saying is just perspective. It's just opinion. But it's just the audacity, you know, for this reporter who used to call, it's like, nah, son, we remember, you know, and Michael B. Jordan, I don't think, like, after that situation, he didn't give that woman a second thought.